live. TikTok. We in here, baby. What up, what up? Welcome back, fellas. Another live. April Fools! No, we in here. It's real. Alright, subtitle of the video. Why most men are not ready and invisible to women. This is going to be some juicy shit. We got to get real. I keep just bringing y'all that real. I went over there with the ladies, telling them about how they got to be ready to submit and follow. I'm coming over here, letting y'all fellas know we got to tighten up. We got to get it right. So, let's dive in. You are a good guy. You got the basics covered, still optimistic. You're going to find your one special lady and ride off into the sunset. Maybe you're taking action, putting yourself out there. Don't understand why it seems dating is a game for haves and have-nots. Guys at the top are doing nothing, raking them in, getting all the women. Why you can't get a woman to notice you and haven't been touched in far too long. Fellas, does it sound like you? Are you having this experience? I say it because I want you to know you're not the only one. This is why I'm making this message. Let's keep going. You've heard about this piss in the dating pool, and you're going your own way. You're keeping your distance. Bump it. It's not worth it. Cutting my losses. This is what I'm talking about, fellas. If you're in any of these camps, you know what I mean. Most men, the average man nowadays, is either not ready and therefore invisible to most women. That's a hell of a state of things. It's all out of whack. So with that, let me take a step back. I am masculinity architect, coachduwaynelangham, teaching men about manhood and masculinity because you know what, guys? Nobody showed us. And I personally think that's bullshit. So I'm standing on my square. You have just tuned in for another live. This week, we're going to jump in. We're going to unpack what is keeping the majority of good men off of the radar for good women. Every time I talk about this topic, I'm getting comments, I'm getting messages. Guys want to know and understand. They've got feedback, they've got anger, they've got red pill rage, blue pill, purple pill, black pill, all the prescriptions in the world. Let's just figure out how we can get what we want, shall we? Let's go. Before we get into this, before I tell you how to get women to notice you, all that good stuff. And this isn't going to be game and tactics, fellas. This is going to be distinctions, principles, the stuff that you can take on for yourself to make your life better. And you know me, I'm all about the hunt. You got to have the right bait. Make the prey come to you. This ain't hard work. All right. Before we get into that, though, do me a favor. Hit the like, hit the thumbs up. TikTok talking to you. YouTube, you know what it is. Algorithm guys need to get that attention, spread the word. If you know somebody who needs to hear this message, pass it along right here and now. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. I'm posting 3 times a day over on TikTok. I got a new series and a new show I'm about to launch on Instagram, and every week I'm going live with y'all. It's been a few weeks. I had a lot of content to get edited out, getting ready for a move, going down to Florida. But again, big things in the works. Thank you for being here. As always, make sure, do yourself a favor, go grab a copy of my absolutely free ebook, Diving Deep into the Divine. My work is about divine masculine and feminine energy. Inside of this book, you're going to get everything you need to understand the universal laws that I am talking about here. This 30-minute live is not going to be enough for you to go deep, and that's why I made this ebook, Deep Dive into the Divine. Absolutely free. Pick up your copy, and it'll make so much of what I'm talking about so much clearer, and a lot more about how your relationships and everything are working. You've got blinders onto this stuff. Relationships, platonic, familial, romantic, professional, all of them are impacted by these conversations. Without further ado, fellas, let's get right to it. So who is this for? Who am I talking to? This is going to be for my brothers, gentlemen, brothers, men, who want to enjoy women in their life but know that you're missing whatever it is that women want. Do they know what they want? Because it's not what they say. It's not what the propaganda talks about. It's not what the movies and stuff said. But Disney, the kiss, the prince. Am I not a prince? Am I a frog? Fuck. This is going to be for my brothers who can get results, right? Get a little play with women, but you're not really satisfied with the quality. You know, you can't seem to make anything of any real lasting value. This is my fellas who value the phrase, this is what I call it in my 20s, in-house pussy. Just being honest. I forgot we're on YouTube. Sorry about that. Don't strike me down. But the whole context being, you want that consistent. You know, statistics are out there. A lot of men are not looking to have a revolving door. I'll tell you what, out of pain, rejection, hurt, trauma, or just being fed up, going their own way, most men want partnership, want what their moms and dads or maybe grandma and granddad had, and just actually having a partner, actually having a woman they can trust, loyalty, someone they can build with, start a family with, start a legacy with, have someone there with them till the end. That's the goal of most. Not everybody wants a Rolodex or, you know, switching plates, spinning plates, and all the other good stuff. If you're in that boat, you're in the right place. And now, other guys. As a divorced dad, I feel this group the most. Men with plenty of experience, but getting all the wrong treatment, going about it all the wrong way, bought into all the things, nice guy recovery, just all of it, guys. Let's call a spade, you know? You made some bets, you learned some lessons, hopefully, and it's just left you burned. But you've been taken advantage of financially, mentally, emotionally. You've been cheated on. You've been divorced out of nowhere, lost everything. You're being neglected from intimacy, affection, all the things you got into a relationship and went and got a woman in your life for. Brother, I understand it. If this is you in any of these buckets, this conversation is going to open up your eyes. This conversation is going to give you something that you need, and trust me, you're in the right place. So we're going to explore and break down the nature of the beast. We're going to understand female nature. We're going to understand what it really means, right? If you're stepping into this arena, if you're going to be taking on having women in your life, why? How do you go unnoticed? Why? How did it go so far left and at one point it was all right? Or is it even possible to be happy in this whole situation? We're going to answer the question of why most good men do not end up on the radar or are completely invisible to most good women. Why does it happen? This fella's going to have to take a step back. This is fundamentally why I do, what I preach all the time, and where it all starts. I'm not about the symptom shit. I can give you those simple solutions, but I really want to get down to the nooks and crannies. I really want to get down to the root cause of the shit. So we're going to start there. Why does this happen? Men don't have direction in life. We're missing a rite of passage. Generations of men have gone without role models. On top of that, we're in a society that does not accept men in it. Now, I want you to really let that sink in. This is not red pill rage. This is not anger. I'm not pointing the finger at anyone. I'm speaking as a man among generations of men in a society composed half of men that are missing direction in life. What do I mean by that? There is no man's or masculine focused safe space. This is what traditionally, instinctually, primitive times, in a rite of passage, we were able to give boys access to fellowship, a place where they could go and develop themselves in the way that men and masculine is developed, through experience, through competition, through getting down and dirty, through physics, through all kinds of things that in the physical space with masculine energy and other masculine men, elders, masculine men, to guide you and walk you through, to show you the way, to give you guidance and direction. We're missing all of that. Stacked on top, now in a society that has no room for men. Now, what do I mean by that? I want to be clear, right? When did it turn? This is my observation, philosophy, all that. I'm in school for psychology, but I don't like to break down that stuff too much in here. But you got to get at the point where raw masculine energy, I'm talking about go to war, go to battle, killing, destroying, what it used to look like for so long, and still does in some places in the world, has made the cushy experience of the modern society behind the walls of government, law, litigation, we've given away our masculine sovereignty to authority, structure, government, if you will. Like I said, trusting law over dominion over our land, dominion over our space. Well, that's when I say sovereignty. And so what I mean is that as the times become safer, society, and we're part of society, society no longer wants raw masculine energy, because society, which is feminine centric, that's not a bad thing, connectedness, nurturing, the thriving of legacies to grow and expand, that quality of life, how are we interconnected, all that is the realm of feminine. Masculine is the expansion, the conquering, the acquiring, and the battle, the confrontation, the conflict that will be required before it reaches that point. So after the wars and battles, after the empires, after the evolution, after we advance, after an information age, where now we can remote pilot drones from thousands of miles away to blow shit up, and we no longer have to cut each other open with knives and blades. The places and spaces where men were safe at war and battle. Men were safe on guard. Men were safe. And when I say safe, I mean safe to be men, safe to be with other men, safe to deal with masculine trauma, safe to deal with growing, safe to deal with in masculine spaces. In the space of society, society has never had room for that. You had warriors, they trained, but then they went off to battle. They weren't cutting and chopping and, beating the shit out of each other in the village. That's where the women and children were. That's where the feminine stuff, all the things on the backs of masculine is being protected. So what that means is in this cushy modern society where drones thousands of miles away are doing the damage and dirty work, where a lawyer behind the law can fight your battles for you. There's no more room for the tough guy. There's no more room for the raw masculine energy. That's not a bad thing for society. But understanding along that way, again, starting with the premise that men don't have direction. It was easy before. You're a man. You're assumed masculine. You've got a penis. You are the cannon fodder for society. And I mean that as honorably as possible. But you're the ones going into the draft. You're the ones going to war. You're the ones who, if you don't walk away from the battlefield, our tribe and village life is over. That legacy is ended. The other guys got it. Which is why, the gladiators, sports, why we're so engulfed into that, because that is the closest remnants of masculine exertion. So anyway, I don't want to get too deep into the philosophy of it, but just understanding that is the first thing. Why are you invisible? Not seen and not wanted, not ready for women, because the majority of men aren't actually men. And what I mean by that, in the same way that our bodies, we can have food delivered to us, we've evolved. Pick up a phone, use an app, get food delivered. We no longer have to hunt, gather, learn all these skills, exert the calories to go get it. We've evolved, but our bodies haven't, and now we've got problems with obesity. Society has evolved. We're no longer cutting each other, chopping each other to bits, fighting to the death. We're negotiating, we're using politics, so on and so forth. But with that, there's no direction in general. It's not so simple of, you're a boy, go with the men, have your rite of passage, you'll go to war, you'll go to battle, you'll head the village, you'll lead. It's not so simple anymore. It's a bit more complex. So this is just the foundation of the things that are missing without men having direction. So without those safe spaces to grow and develop, that also means we don't have the unified skills and honor associated with it. Do you get that? If you're in the Smith family, you were a blacksmith. You were working on that craft. You were observing the elders, your father, your uncles, whoever had that trade. If it was fishermen, because that was your village, it's just so easy to understand. So there were skills to that. Natural things that helped the village, that boys could be taken out and shown how to do to come back as men, contribute to the village, and a cycle of things. We don't have that anymore. Everyone, boys and girls, go through a school system. We get educated, we get a piece of paper, and we're out in the world. Where have we been tested? Where have our masculine skills been put to the test? Where have we had fellowship to be amongst men and be men? Where have we had honor to acknowledge that man over there is a hell of a hunter. That man over there is a hell of a fisherman. That man over there can yield a bow and a sword like nobody's business. That's honor among men, respect. I want that man on my side. I want that man holding down the village. I want that man watching the wall. Honor and respect amongst men. So in a society where we don't have anything to measure or healthily compete each other, to train and teach each other, to give a safe space for each other, we're missing fellowship and just getting along with each other, let alone having a purpose beyond paying my bills, getting my Uber Eats delivered, maybe getting a subscription to PlayStation or Xbox. I don't know. I haven't gamed in a while, but that might be all that you need. So again, that guy that I was talking about earlier, you're not too bad. You know, you got some things together, but you're missing these core elements. And this is why women, I'm getting down to the foundational root cause of why women don't see you and why you're not actually ready for them, because you don't have access to these just base necessities that boys used to transition into manhood by default for. We're missing that. So with all that in the background, let's take it a step further. My guy Ghost, what up? Shout out to the people. I'm seeing everything coming across. I'm trying to make sure I got it short and concise for y'all. Give you some good stuff, but I appreciate you joining in always. Now, without that in the background, this one may hit hard. You're going to have to put your ego to the side. Fellas, you're not man enough for yourself. I really want that to sink in. It takes a hell of a man to admit something like that. Now, what do I mean by this? I've got an upcoming book, Qualified Man. It's all about being qualified for yourself, living into your life, your legacy, everything that you're out to create. You are your masculine expression. Not what I say, not what the world says, not what a book says, what you say. But go read my book when it comes out. But what I'm saying is you're not man enough for yourself. Self-confidence. Because of all those things that you're missing, nobody's giving you a chance that traditionally would be there to develop. You're missing self-confidence. Confidence is going to come inside of your demonstrated competency. As men, we need to get our hands. How many men can change a tire? Can change some oil? It can do some general carpenting around the house, or maybe we can take a computer apart and fix some things. Engineering, STEM mindset, using your hands, like these masculine spaces, that skills and honor I was talking about. If we don't have a place to test, develop, to ascend from boyhood to manhood, if you've never killed a lion, if you've never taken on the hallucinogenic ants, never killed a wolf, like you've never had to be tested in the way that this is my stamp, I'm a man, I can handle what the men of our village, the ways of our tribe, what generations of my ancestors have done, I've got that badge of honor. If you don't have a demonstrated competency beyond going to school for 12 years to get a piece of paper, to go out and get a job, how can you have the right self-confidence? Again, do you hear it? It's so much easier when, yes, I've killed a fucking lion amongst men. I am accepted and honored with the men. So yeah, let me come on back and hold it down in the village. Let me contribute. I'm ready to be part. Again, you can hear it, the raw masculine. I want to be of use. I want to contribute. We've lost direction, brothers. This is why. You're not man enough for yourself. The man that you've always wanted to be. If you're watching this video to get insight, if this topic, women ignoring you, women not seeing you, you not being ready for women, if this is something that's in your realm, trust me, I've gone through those steps even before I knew it for myself. Gotta be honest. You're just not man enough for yourself. That's not why she doesn't see you. She doesn't see you because you're not man enough for yourself. We're going to go deeper. Courage. Courage is something that will be tested as well. Comes out in the face of risk. That's the difference. Confidence and courage. You can only demonstrate courage if there is danger, if there is risk. Nowadays, where again, you don't have to hunt anything, you don't have to work for anything, you barely have to do anything, you can work remotely in your drawers at home all day, every day, and make a living. The thing is with that, again, there's no danger, there's no risk. So when it comes to going and talking to that beautiful woman, and because you don't talk to any women, you lack the courage. You don't shoot the shot. You're not approaching. Not even saying that's the most efficient, it's just the most traditional. There she is, Go talk to her. And see, when that's missing, we get what we're getting in society today is we get the piss in the dating pool. We get the guys at the top that are getting all the default attention, that have all the validation and so forth. But there's also a psycho part to it. There's a part up here that I'm going to get you hip to. But let's keep moving along, right? Ambition. Dreams and drive to reach higher. Now, like I said, it is easy. It is light work, monkey work nowadays to make a living, to make an income. You can do all right. You can buy a house. You can, have some things going for you. Hell, you can even get up 6 figures. You can be making some money. But that's not what I'm talking about. Ambition, dreams and drive to reach higher accomplishments. After you've hit that bar, my guy, now what? What's next? Here's the real core conversation that cannot be answered in the little boy's sandbox. Let me tell you about the little boy's sandbox. He's in his room. He's in his man cave. He's following his fantasy football. He's following his team every week. He's following their stats. He's watching their dreams. He's in the conversations of society and what everybody else on social media is talking about. His Friday, Saturday nights is getting intoxicated, escaping his life, and just numbing the pain. Maybe it's the next vacation. If you need a vacation from your life, I think you got the wrong life going. That's always been my motto. But the context is it doesn't really require much to achieve that bar. It is so low in today's modern society. It takes ambition to stretch beyond that. And see that feminine, female nature, they're looking for that. Because that's what makes sure that the kids is going to have something to stand on. That's what makes sure is that you'll stick around, something you can live into. The men who are shaping the world for our future have no problem with women, even if they don't have the game right. Because they're playing the game by its design, being a grounded, masculine man with ambition, hopes and dreams, achieving, going for a goal. Even if he don't know how to say his name to women, they're going to want him because he's attractive. And because he's devoted his life to that, that is going to attract them. But I don't want to get too deep too fast. Again, why is this stuff happening? Let's go ahead and knock out these last parts. Because he's lacking discipline, delayed gratification, and mastery. You can pick up, I've got like 3 phones around me right now. We can pick up a device in the palm of our hand and get instant gratification, get a dopamine drip, get something stimulating. The title on this video might have grabbed your attention. The colors, the sounds, the notifications, everything. It's all tailored to grab your attention. That is the economy of the day. With that, the actual discipline to cut things off, to do things in moderation, to stick to a plan, to come back, and the next one, resilience, to keep going, enduring the struggle, delayed gratification, mastery, the 10,000 hours to just chop the wood, do the thing every day in, day out that it takes for genius, for mastery, to really have a skill and craft and take it somewhere. That type of discipline is lacking in most men. That type of resilience is lacking. I'm a coach, I know, ready to give up because it's hard, because it's uncomfortable. Success is outside your comfort zone. And then lastly, what does that all add up to? You're not man enough for yourself because there's no reliability. And you are the first person that encounters that because you don't reliably trust you'll fulfill on your goals, hopes, dreams, desires, wishes. Why? Because you're not man enough for yourself. So I know that was hard. I know it was rough, but guys, we got to wake up. We got to realistically look at this. If the whole situation, we're born into this life perfectly whole and complete. And if life is designed that women are attracted to men, men are attracted to women, masculine and feminine energy, the yin and yang, it's a natural dance that flows. And for some out there, the cream rising at the top, it's working exactly how it's supposed to work. But if we're so lost, we're so distracted, we're so off base, because we have no direction, and because we are not men for ourselves, because masculine answers the question, who am I? And ultimately, that grounded rock, that no matter what's going on, the uncertainty, the struggle, the circumstances, whatever, this is who I am, this is the vision that I have, and that dedication, determination to change the fucking world, starting with your world, into the bigger world, her world, the family, the community, the nation, the world. It starts with you, fellas. So before we dive into the solutions, how do we understand women so that we can understand how to get their attention, how to have them see us, how to have them want us, all of that, and how to be ready for them. Because first and foremost, if you're not ready over here, it don't matter. They could throw themselves at you, it would still end up bad. Before we do that, I want you to go pick up a copy of my book, The Dance, Mastering the Rhythm of Love in the Modern Dating Game. With that book, it really is just my complete download of everything from the attraction, the self-work, dating, the actual implementation of it, and actually getting into the relationship and maintaining it for life. This is the 10 years of work I've done with my clients, and I've got it distilled into this book. Go grab that copy for yourself. It'll make the biggest difference on how you handle the woman. After you watch this video, come back for the replay, take your notes, and apply what I'm about to give you right now, these solutions, because this understanding of women will completely flip the game for you, put you in that top percent. I promise you. So with that, without further ado, let me just give you what you came here for. So the first thing you've got to understand to solve this problem, to have women pay attention to you and be ready for women in your life, is you need to understand women. What do you need to understand about women? How do you even understand women? I'll be honest. First thing, this is my own personal thing, this isn't even my studies, my observation and experience. Women don't understand women. Every woman has at least 3 minds inside of them. I joke, but it's true. Divine feminine is the flow, is the experience, the temporary truths, all of it, the full spectrum of life, the full range of emotions. It's not logical, pragmatic, straightforward like us, so we have to accept that if we want to accept women into our lives. If you don't accept them into your life, it's kind of obvious why they're not going to pay you any attention and why you're not ready to have them in your life. Hence, you don't. So, let's continue. Women are attracted to polarity. What is polarity? Polarity, opposites. Opposites attract. So what am I saying? You have to be unapologetically masculine. I want to be clear. I've already started down this path, but I do want to make sure to underline. I'm not giving you strategy. I am not a simple dating coach. I'm not out here to help you get laid. I'm not out here to improve your dating. I'm giving you philosophies in MGM status, mature, grounded, masculine man. When you are being that, when that answers the masculine question, who am I? Mature, grounded, masculine man. It autopilots everything. I don't need to give you strategy. I don't need to teach you how to date, because you're going to be grounded in your own life. You're going to be a man leading his life, and these natural elements just come into play. So, coming back to the basics, women are attracted to polarity. Feminine women are attracted to masculine men. Boom. That's it. That's as strategy as it gets. But seriously, you have to be unapologetically masculine. And I say unapologetically because, men, I'm certain that you know in this current day and age, 2025, pissing the dating pool and every other thing that modern civilization is going through, modern Western culture. To be a masculine man, no one is going to give you permission. No one is going to co-sign and approve. No one is going to very well understand where you're coming from. And even if they do, their unapologetic willingness to stand on it, to stand up and shout it, to let it be known, to voice your thoughts and opinions. You have to be bold enough to be different. Different not only from women. This is the cure for the nice guy. Not going along, oh honey, well whatever you want. Being nice as possible with the false kindness to get all this and expecting reciprocity to give you back what you want. Some nookie, cookie, and softness and feminine energy. No. Unapologetically masculine. Because see, the feminine energy is the apologetic, don't want to make waves, don't want to upset anybody, don't want to decide, don't want to make a decision because that cuts off FOMO, don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, leave anybody out, needs to stay connected. That is all feminine energy. And if you are walking through life like, I don't know, baby, what do you want? What do you want for dinner? What do you want to do? How do you feel? Oh yeah, I like that too. Do you hear it? The supplication, unapologetically masculine. Be bold enough to be different. Now, I think that's kind of silly. Damn, I thought that music sucks. And playful about it. Damn, I had some hopes for you. You was all right, but that's who you listen to? That's how you rock? I mean, as a joke, I can get you some tickets for your birthday or something. I ain't gonna be caught dead at that fucking concert. Have your own fucking opinion. Have your own ideals. Have your own thoughts and beliefs and share them unapologetically. That boldness is attractive to feminine because feminine is open and therefore flows and will confine itself to the containment, to the authority, to whoever that feminine submits to. So you being unapologetically yourself gives them a context of power, authority, something to follow, something to submit to. That'll come back later. In the meantime, inside of this, you're going to be showing up being self-centered and unselfish. Now, this one is big, fellas. Masculine answers the question, who am I? But you've got to have maturity, leadership, responsibility to take in consideration. I don't care if you're friends with benefits, situationships, fuck buddies, casually dating, spending place, whatever you want to call it. If you have feminine women in your life, you are responsible for them. Not responsible for their life until you claim them, own them, they take your last name, they're your woman, whatever the case. But you're responsible for what you take them through. You're responsible for what your words create. You are responsible. So with that, you cannot be selfish. Self-centered, I'm only concerned about me. My best interest, the direction I'm going. I am centered on who am I. This is who I said I am. This is where you can find me. This is what you can see me being up to. This is how you're going to hear me speak, talk, do, and act. But not selfish, where you only consider yourself, where you only take your thoughts in consideration, where you only value your opinion, where you're not open to listen to anything else. This dynamic is going to be similar. Here's the kicker. This dynamic is similar to her father, which ideally, in a healthy dynamic, is the first healthy, grounded masculine image. A father does for others on his own authority, unquestionable authority. Coming up in your dad's house. Come on now, you know what it is. A grounded masculine father in the house. Put some respect on him. He gonna get the big piece of chicken. These are his rules. This is his house. Under his roof, his way. Say my way or the highway. There's a context of respect to that, unapologetically. Let me see a grounded masculine father getting bullied, beat up, or verbally abused by his fucking kids. Exactly. Ain't no question to it. And in that context, you kind of get what I'm talking to. You're going to need to daddy her. That daddy energy, big D-E, big daddy energy. Yes, they want it. Even if they won't admit it, they want it. And the fact that you know enough to be bold enough to show up in that way, unapologetically masculine, different from her, different from every other man, your own drum, self-centered, yet unselfish, attractive as fuck. The shit is like chocolate, irresistible. So that's step one. Women are attracted to polarity. You have to understand that. Stop taking it from what she likes, I need to like. Stop taking it from the logical, pragmatic, how men would work. I like this, you like this, we're cool together, let's go, we're good. Not how it works with women. Please understand that. Step two, women are motivated by feelings and emotions. Now that may not be anything too new. However, are you prepared? Do you have the experience to use that to your benefit? What am I talking about? So in using the feelings and emotion in your favor, she needs to feel you. She needs to feel something from your experience, from your words, from your breath, from your presence, from your energy. Not the hot breath. That ain't what she need to feel. That's not what I'm talking about, guys. Come on now. But give her a roller coaster of emotions and a story she can live into, because this is what the feminine thrives on, the emotional highs. See, again, remember I said with masculine, with guys, I like this, you like this, we're good together, cool, end of the story. That flat line, boring, day in, day out, everything's good, everything's happy, that's dead to feminine. They need the excitement. They need the range. They need to feel something. Will he kiss me? Did I do something wrong? Is he upset? This is how their brains work. And I mean this talking no shade. This is like the biology of it. This is the energy of it. Feminine energy. So many levels of this is the natural design of things. So you can use it in your favor by giving that experience. You're the smartest motherfucker in the world, but if you're boring, talking facts, logical on a date or dating or experiencing, you can watch their eyes glaze over. Now, if they are feeling you, if they admire you, if it's your realm of genius, if you're showing authority inside of it, if other people respect you and honor you, yes, she'll be doe-eyed, loving every word. She's not paying attention to it, but she loves that you can teach her something. She loves how smart you are. She loves and admires that type shit. If you're on a date, one-on-one, you're trying to get her engaged and she's not feeling anything because you're talking about quadratic equations or breaking down numbers or facts or building up a business plan, or dried up, shriveled, do not pass go, do not collect $200 and lick a cookie. It ain't gonna happen. You use it to your favor to give them the advantage, give them the excitement, give them the play, give them the fun. You contain your emotions and then go first to feel turned on, excited, happy, calm, playful, all the good emotions that you want her to feel. Tension even. Be with that. Are we going to kiss? Is she going to say everything that you feel, she feels, but you can contain it. You show the courage. There's risk that you're going to escalate. You're going to approach. You're going to go for the kiss. You're going to go for the move. You're going to ask her out. You can be with that tension and that lets her feel something. This is what she needs, fellas. So you can go first, feel it for yourself, and then she will feel it through you. You are the conduit. Masculine energy is the light. Masculine energy is the sun. The sun gives energy to the world. The sun doesn't say, well, the moon didn't treat me right the last night. I'm not going to shine this morning. The sun gives that love freely. God, the universe, gives that love freely, and she mirrors and mimics that. If you're not experiencing the right things with your feminine, she is a mirror to you. You are responsible. It is what it is, fellas. Don't kill the messenger. But you can give her love. You can give her desire, dominance, play, calmness, all these emotions. You lead it first because you can contain it. You can control it within yourself. The last thing I want you to understand about women, and this is the big one, especially to my guys who have been divorced, taken advantage of, can't understand where they're not sticking around, there's no quality or lasting relationships, you can't seem to cross this threshold. Women are governed by hypergamy and their female nature. Now that's a loaded conversation, that's a loaded statement, but I want you to stay with me. Hypergamy and female nature. What this means is that they are conditioned and programmed to crave authority. Why? I want to break down the science behind it. Why? Because that lets them know that your power, your authority, which is going to equate to, what are you going to be? Calm, cool, collected, assertive, confident, grounded. All those things. Remember the polarity conversations. Their nature is going to look for that leader, that coverage, that protection. Because that means that in that coverage and protection, behind his lead, the feminine exhale, it's taken care of. That's easy. It's a done deal. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's already handled. That is the meal ticket. That is the easy part. That will have her fuck you, suck you, take care of you, shut the hell up, raise your kids, all of it. Whatever it is that you're wanting and needing, it will happen inside of allowing her feminine to exhale, relax, kick her feet up, be taken care of, trust in your leadership that it's all done, all taken care of. Night Legend over on YouTube, what up? We got the people over on TikTok jumping in. I see you. Reflecting on the past, when I think too much, it always ends up coming off wrong. Be present makes things easier because they need to feel something. This man knows what he's talking about. Night Legion. Interesting name. Yeah, so with that, jumping back in, governed by hypergamy, female nature, they're looking for that authority, for your power. How do you counter that? Take the lead. Plan the dates. Ask her out. And initiate. Make things move. They're looking for that. Make it easy on them. When you can show, hey, show up at this time, have this outfit, gonna take you here, do this. It ain't about the budget, fellas. Some of the best dates and times best dates and times have not spent $10, $20, but I've spent hours. And that's when I planned for it. That's when I intended for it with the right woman, past the auditioning stages and all that stuff. But the context is it doesn't really require much of anything but your intentionality, the romance, the intimacy, the fact that you're setting it up for you two to spend time and you've thought ahead to take care of the small details so she can kick her feet up and relax, be told what to do, when to show up, what to wear, all of it. Come on. Take the lead whenever possible. I'll tell you the secret, nobody wants to lead. Leadership is not having all the answers. Leadership is being willing to step up and do the thing. When you do that, it doesn't even matter if you get it right. It doesn't matter if you fuck up. Confidence, courage, we talked about it earlier. To take that risk and do it anyway, because that makes it easier on her. It doesn't matter how it goes. Do you have a positive outlook? Can you laugh it off? Can you not take yourself and things too seriously? She will enjoy, get behind, and follow that all day long. That's a lead. Take it. Now, here's the way to multiply on top of that. Keep her on track. If you're leading, it's your pace, your tone, your project, your team, your responsibility. Call the shots. Let her know when you need her to step her game up. Let her know when she's falling behind constructively. Don't just badger and berate, but the context, it gives her something to do. It gives her something to focus on. Remember the female nature. Their nature is designed to be anxious if they don't have anything to nurture and pour into. If they don't have a relationship, a child, a family, a project, authority giving them a task for them to take care of. If not, the feminine, the entire spectrum of life, will create the drama, the problems. And it won't just be on watching the first 48 at night. It'll be in your life. So take the lead and keep her on track. Fellas, I can't help but give y'all the juice. I can't help but give y'all extra. We're going over and above. It's supposed to be 30 minutes. We're about to wrap this up. Last way that you're going to counter hypergamy and female nature. This is an advanced distinction that I want you to really grasp because I'm going to drop it quick, fast, and in a hurry. 3 levels of daddy. This is what every woman, every female woman will require to stay loyal, to stay happy in a relationship. A lot of times we get caught up, we're men. We want the logical. How do you get the girl? How do you get the cheeks? How do you get what I want? Cool. You got to mature and get past that because if you truly understand it, like I said, I'm giving you the root cause, not the symptoms. If you truly understand it, how to be an MGM, mature, grounded, masculine man, you will have these women following you, begging to follow you, competing to follow you. Remember I said at the beginning, the men on the top, the haves and the have-nots. It seems to be so easy. They're not doing anything because they're men. That is attractive. That is what women want. And that is what women will fuck what they say, go for, do, and act for. Because these masculine traits are showing up and they don't have to tell a masculine man how to be a masculine man. Even if he's not in their best interest, they'll follow that because it allows them to relax. It feels good. It's an experience. All the things that I told you that they need. They need to be daddied on 3 levels. And if you don't hit these 3 levels, fellas, I don't care if you found you a good one. I don't care if you've been together for years. I don't care if you've got kids. I don't care if it's been decades. You can be coming up on your 30th anniversary. It's never too late. They will want to get back on these streets. Why hypergamy? It gets boring. You don't understand them and you're not giving them what they need. So they need these 3 levels to be daddied in. Remember, daddy is the authority. First level, first arena is the bedroom. You gotta give her a good fuck. You gotta know how to lay it down. And I want to be responsible when I say that because this generation nowadays, that may be something that you're just hearing about, like porn and stuff. No. Passionate, intense, exciting. She needs to feel you, feel your presence, feel ravaged, feel taken, feel the animalistic release of your sexual desire. So there's nothing inside of that about not being sure, nothing inside of that worried about, asking permission for don't get me wrong, adulting consent, and she wants you to have her. She wants you to have your way with her. When she's consenting and giving to you and submitting to you, she wants to be daddied. This is the primary space, the first space. It's the lowest level, but it is the first space. If not held down, it is just a matter of time. If you ain't scratching that itch to give her what she needs, just give it time. She will find somebody who will. And in her mind, make it okay, make it truthful, and love the shit out of you and stay with you. But that loyalty, that exclusivity, if you can't hold it down in the bedroom, I don't know what you're expecting in a life commitment. For me, eye contact always gives me permission to proceed. There we go. It's just who notices and experiences this. Your thoughts? Damn, that's a good question. Night Legion. Yeah, the eye contact is definitely, that's the cue for your initiation, because that is the invitation. If not clear, I mean, look at the topic. Why most men are invisible, are not seen, are not ready, not even willing to be looking out for that eye contact to go ahead and make that move. That is precisely when it's time and what they're asking for. Yeah, that's a good one. I love that. Keep dropping them comments, checking back in on TikTok. Let's wrap this up. So, first level, you have to daddy her in the bedroom. Second level, you have to daddy her with your resourcefulness. And I say this resourcefulness, not resources, not money, not just provision. This is not paying all the bills. She needs to see your resourcefulness. She needs to see if a car breaks down, you can change a tire, change some oil. She needs to see that if times are hard, you can rub some pennies together to make 15 cents. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she needs to see your resourcefulness. She needs to know that you're going to do whatever is needed. Zombie apocalypse happens. It doesn't matter if it's reality. It doesn't matter if it's true. But she needs to feel, to get the sense of you are resourceful. You will find a way to make it work. If she's got to do her part, you'll keep her on track and give her her part. Go and do your part. Put it together. We make it happen. She needs to see that you're resourceful. When she sees that, and then she knows that when it comes to resources, daddy's got it. Your baby girl or your daughter. I've got 2 daughters. They don't know how I pay the bills. They don't know how I keep the lights on. They don't know when the phone bills due. They don't know any of that stuff. That is not their lane. If they ask me for some money, I'm going to tell them no, and I'm not going to give it to them because I'm paying these bills over here. Because I'm going to have me some dinner later on today. That's where they need to be daddied. Oh, he got it. It's taken care of. And in my best interest, your resourcefulness. They need you to daddy in the bedroom. They need you to daddy with the resources. Because if she's got to step into her masculine to go make it happen, like I said, you can give her the plan and she can do her part because she believes and follows your vision. That doesn't even necessarily mean that you're working. I'm not saying you want to set it up that way, but the context is your resourcefulness will put together a plan. But if she's got to figure out from scratch what to do, how to do, when does it end, what's he going to do, where's this going to go? Oh, no. That's way too much masculine over there for her. She needs to be daddied. Like the little girl bouncing on your knee, oblivious to everything else going on in the world. She wants to turn her mind off. Do that for her. She'll never leave. And last but not least, this is the big stretch just for men of this generation. Spiritually, she needs to be daddied. And I say that however you listen for it, literally is the father of the village, father of the congregation. And I'm not talking about just a religion, but being tapped into, submitting to a higher source, understanding that you, as a man, have to give back, have to provide into the cyclical nature of things. You were poured into from those who came before you. You need to pay it forward and pay into the next generation. This is the legacy. This is the long lasting. This is the vision. This is the polarity of things that her feminine knows nothing about. Her feminine. She has masculine as well. But when she's in her feminine and relaxing, that is what she wants to follow. A dream, a desire, a plan that will be fulfilled by a leader. And that's how you've got to move. When you do that, that's what gives you the courage, demonstrated competency, the confidence. All of those things show up because you are submitting to a higher power. Through Christ, all things are possible. When you can give that pressure up, whatever you believe in, I'm spiritual myself. I'm not putting to a specific religion, but the context is when you can give her spiritual guidance, connected to something larger, connected to something bigger than yourself, connected to something bigger than your relationship, something that's going to be around for generations, something that's going to make a difference. something in your community, something in your family. It does not matter. The context is that you are leading and growing together, giving her principles, instructing her, teaching her, training her. You deliver in these three areas, fellas. This is why women can't see you and you're not ready. If you're not ready to daddy her in the bed, if you're not ready to daddy her with your resources, resourcefulness, and if you're not ready to daddy her spiritually. And that last one, a lot of men, even with the money, even laying down the pipe, if you're not spiritually leading them because they don't even recognize, they yearn for that. And that's not getting that just from the pastor, not getting that online at YouTube, getting that from you, the daddy of her village, the man that she submits to. That's what she wants to follow. So with that, fellas, I hope that gave you some clarity. That is my solution to give you an understanding why most men are not ready, how you can get ready and stop being invisible to women out there. In the meantime, I'm going to be right here, as always, wishing the best, only success, being the best version of myself. One could say beyond empowered. The question is, fellas, who are you going to be? Peace. YouTube. Holla at your boy. TikTok. It is next week.